It's the hardest part of the ring. It's the hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you go over the top rope and you bang your head on the ring apron. And that's when you feel like a big dope, because they're the worst bumps you can be taking. Oh yeah, it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Just the claps. It's the hardest part of the ring. It's the hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you reach out for the hot tag, but then you go ahead and make your own comeback. And that's when you should quit wrestling. And you're better off fighting in thumbtacks. It's the hardest part of the ring. It's the hardest part of the ring. Bada bada. Welcome to the hardest part of the ring. I hope my voice isn't too shot, Chris and Mark. And it is late, so I am keeping my voice down a little bit, but I wanted to make sure I talk about the Hulu edition of NXT, February 24th of 2024. They put it on TV, and I commend their bravery for doing that. Let's jump right into it. I got to go right into the mix because I have to go to bed about a half hour ago. We open with a package. I don't recall seeing Hulk Hogan slam Andre the Giant here. If I missed it, I missed it. Maybe I was heating up my chicken and rice that I got from the local supermarket. But I don't recall seeing Hulk Hogan slam Andre the Giant. Perhaps he did. Perhaps he didn't. Oh, he did. They have it on film. It's on the network, which is soon to be Peacock, which I don't understand yet. I will be late to the ball game there. We have ball games in America. No, we don't. We used to, but now everyone's coughing to death. Okie dokie. There's a package with Karrion Kross and Scarlett is making my underwear move. Excuse me. So, in this package, Scarlett and Karrion Kross. Scarlett's, I think she's looking at cards, and they're gonna fight that Santos Escobar guy, who's the cruiserweight champion, and a Dexter to the heel. But I guess they're the baby faces here. I didn't understand that. I want to harp on that later. But I guess a lot of this didn't make Hulu in the past because this package made the most sense to me as to why they're fighting. Because I guess when Santos was running his mouth, he included Karrion Kross and only having the title for winning it for one match and then getting hurt right away. So this raised the ire of Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Well, okie dokie, that's fine. I see that. Wish I'd known that the last 3 weeks they've been building a stupid thing, but okay. We start with a wrestling contest. Well, I mean, a bell rang and things happened. Dexter Lumis wrestles Johnny Gargano in a non-title match with Gargano being the North American champion, which means Gargano is definitely going to lose. Sometimes a champion can win a non-title match too. You gotta subvert expectations, man. But we kind of knew where this was going. Austin Theory is the guy you pick on and mess with on the way to wrestling Johnny Gargano, to having Johnny Gargano's match where you always roll out of a schoolboy and get kicked in the head. What happened here? Not much. This thing was quiet, and I know there's hardly any people there, but why do I feel this match would have had the same amount of noise if it happened in front of a full sale arena or whatever it is? It's always harder with a bigger, more muscular, visibly bigger babyface, and that's the hardest thing about Gargano's heel run. Maybe that's not the most difficult thing to watch about Gargano's heel run, but they do a little thing before Gargano enters with the way where they say that's the way. I like it, which is a popular Bee Gees song. It's a pop culture reference. I don't have time to explain it. It's older than I am, but and Austin Theory, of course, is getting dumber by the week. He's got the Homer Simpson syndrome, and he says that should be a song. Anyway, Austin Theory hesitates. He's wearing shorts for some reason. Looks like an idiot, but he's supposed to, I guess. He has a chair. He wants to hit Dexter, but he's afraid to. And then there's some kind of tomfuckery going on where Gargano gets hit with a chair or something like that. And Dexter hits his finish and taps out Gargano. The match gets negative 346 stars. Negative 346 stars. That's what I'm giving. That's my star system. I mean, we're gonna do. We knew we were gonna do Loomis and Gargano the second, like a month ago. We saw Austin Theory being spooked out by Dexter, and we knew that's where this was going. But why do I feel like we've done this match? Have we done Gargano and Loomis? I feel like we have. Am I cracking? Or does this look too much like the Dexter Loomis Cameron Grimes feud? And that's why I think we just did it. I don't know the answer, but that's something to think about. You think about it on the hardest part of the ring, which is the ring apron. We have a package on MSK. Do we ever get a break from MSK? Memorial Sloan Kettering, the cancer hospital team is. They finally give us a package though on why we're supposed to care about these guys, some human aspects, about their family and whatnot, and their history together, which might have been helpful 6 weeks ago, but they did it now. Here's why you were supposed to be caring the whole time. Then we come back from a break on Hulu, and again, this is Hulu. If I'm missing something, they didn't air on Hulu. Come back from a break, and the grizzled young veterans have attacked the Midget Street crew. I stumbled on that one, and there we go. So now we're supposed to be extra sympathetic to the Midget Street crew. And William Regal tells a blonde lady who ends up being Zoe Stark. I don't know who she is. He tells her that she's going to have a match with Io Shirai, but that was a recap of last week, so that means the match is happening now. And Zoe Stark does. I wrote Promo Class 101, and 101 also looks like LOL when you write it down, and it might as well be, because for a second I almost said Promo Class LOL, which they should call it that. Not just Promo 101, but good God, she did WWE NXT Promo 101, the match where the promo where, yes, you always want to put your opponent over, but they over put their opponent over and almost apologize for being there in the same realm and hit all of these. And that's why when I get in the ring, I'm going to prove to everyone, all of the doubters, all of the naysayers, hit every cliche day in and day out. First one to show up, last one to leave. And your dreams are going to come a nightmare. And you're going to bite off more than you can chew. Shut the fuck up. God. Oh, I didn't see. I don't hate Zoe Stark. I liked her wrestling okay. I thought she was a little. She wrestles Io Shirai next, by the way. We'll get to that in a second. We have an update on Kyle O'Reilly, who was attacked by Adam Cole. Beth showing the proper amount of emotion. They're not doing stupid somber voices, but she's not bawling like a ninny, but she's a little just choked up and hurt, but moving on and maintaining the professionalism that an athletic that a sports broadcaster would. Again, Beth knocks it out of the goddamn park every time. They did something later or around then with Wade Barrett. Saying he wasn't there, but he was saying he was trapped in Dexter Loomis's basement or something. I don't know why he wasn't there, what was going on. Things happen. Anyway, Zoe Stark wrestles Io Shirai. Um, I don't know. I don't know who the Zoe Stark is. Is she Is she an internet darling that everyone loves? I don't know what the deal is. Obviously, she looks athletic, and she was athletic. A little stumbles with her and Io. I mean, and again, this is not a criticism really. It's another thing they don't have live events or house shows or whatever to get to know each other as well, and I'm assuming time for training together at the PC is limited, with the PC also being half Thunderdome-ish, half whatever the hell it is. Um, so they just don't get to spend that much time with each other, and I'm sure there's a communication barrier between the two as well. And you could see it in some of the opening spots there, but whatever. I mean, it was a competitive match. It wasn't that long, and it shouldn't be. It's a babyface match, and we're just. The story was Io just needs to beat Zoe. I thought they were doing a story with, and again, this would have been this is the second champion in a non-title match in a row on the show, on the Hulu show anyway. But I thought they were going to put Zoe over because they sounded so big on her. But she's always going to win more in defeat. The newer babyface will always win more in defeat with that kind of stuff. Io beats her, of course, with her moonsault, where she beats the shit out of the canvas with her knees, and then pins her. I'm sorry, because I'm a huge Io Shirai fan, but for some reason that finish hits 1 out of 10 times. But this was really to set up Tony Storm coming out, and Tony was great here. Super cocky, telling EO, you beat this person, you beat Mercedes and Martinez, you never beat me. If you had any guts, she's suckering the babyface. She's playing upon the babyface's honor to get what she wants. She knows EO is honorable and won't back down from a fight, so she's putting EO in a tough spot and in front of everyone. The same way, that's really the only way, at least in the cartoon, that Megatron would ever really temporarily have won up on Optimus Prime. Because yes, Megatron was the strongest and indestructible, but Prime would, with his guts, his robot guts, he would beat Megatron, but Megatron could always play upon Prime's sense of honor. Whether he tricked Prime into an agreement of having to leave Earth or an old Cybertronian code, but Megatron is for a fight where the winner can stay on Earth, but of course Megatron cheats and uses his powers from all the other Decepticons in the 16th episode of season 1, where the Destructicons debut, but they fight the Dinobots, and Hound's hologram ultimately helps defeat the Constructicons, and they all get pushed into lava to end season 1. That was too much information. You understand my point? No, so I think they set a match for like 2 weeks from now for Tony and EO. I'd be okay with Tony going over it, although I think it's Raquel's time. I think Tony is fun. Her face is new to this show anyway, so still to me anyway. I still think Raquel is the way to go, but if Raquel and Dakota they're wrestling Shayna and Nia next week. I have no idea how that's gonna go. I mean, you know how I feel about the Nia Jax and Nia Shayna combo. As much as I love Shayna, if it were up to me, if he just handed me the damn book, like if there were still books, I'd say, yeah, just Dakota and Raquel. We haven't had the women's champions be NXT wrestlers yet. Something new. We haven't seen it. I'd like to see it. I'd be happy with Raquel. I'd be happy with Tony beating EO for the title if Raquel and Dakota win the tag titles. I'd like both of that. Why not, right? Something different. We got to put those titles on Raw so that the Raw singles women's champion can never defend it, or some reason I don't know. There's a package about speaking of which, there's a package about the Dusty Cup winners, women, and they said what I just said. They're going to fight next week, so I'm looking forward to that. Maybe I'm not. Karrion Kross gets beat up in a parking lot. They start the match in a parking lot. Okay, but it's not advertised as like a parking lot brawl. It's that they say out of nowhere it's no DQ, no count out. Yeah, it has to end in the ring, and we're starting in a parking lot. Well, pick one. Is it a parking lot fight where you start in a parking lot and you can beat the guy in the lot or anywhere, or you have to end it in the ring? So what if they just both break each other's legs and they just lay in a parking lot for hours? Why wouldn't you start at I don't know. But anyway, Cross spends most of the time fighting off the three of them, Santos Escobar and his two buddies. And I didn't like this. I thought, first of all, it robbed us of the Cross Scarlet entrance, which is so much of their deal. And we see very little of Scarlet. And then we see Scarlet in very little. Okay, Bob, enough. Let that go. And Santos gets the big advantage. He gets bounced around some trucks and stuff. I have no idea why we're out here. It's the most dangerous place in NXT. Santos slams the big truck door down onto Cross's back, which is so dangerous. If Cross moved or missed, it would have gone right onto his neck and fucking killed him. So stupid. I didn't like it. Cross bounces Santos and his buddies around. Against the windshield and the hood of some of these things. Eventually, Santos has his buddies drag Karrion Kross, if you're going to babyface or temporarily babyface the guy, which is what I think it is, I hope. You can't have him dragged anywhere. Kross should have just bounced Santos around. Santos got brief flurries doing dirty things in a fight, and Kross just beats him. But anyway, Cross ends up tossing the other two guys around. I think he somehow he throws them both through the plexiglass, and eventually he gives Santos the big side Saito suplex through the announcer's table, and then he does that clubbing forearm from behind, and he pins Santos. But why did he? I don't know. I just still don't understand this feud even after seeing that package, and I don't know why uh, Santos had to get that much offense on Cross. Just didn't like it. Cross should have just gone through him with little interruption, and most of the interruption been from the other two dudes. But I'm not learning their names. All right. What else here? Scarlett showed up, and in this situation too, which by default makes Scarlett a babyface manager, kind of. It gives her the Paul Bearer problem. Like, we need you here, which is good. You have to be part of this presentation. But what the hell do you actually do? Bear got away with it because, well, he's Paul Bear, and he had the urn, he had this, that, and the other thing. I don't know. Them as a it better be temporary for the babe for them in this role. I think it's like a babyface by default thing. It just happens that they're doing what they do to a dirtier chicken shit heel. I still don't know the point of this feud. And Santos is again. This is the third champion in a non-title match on his show because isn't he the 205 something something? Yeah, that's three of them. The match gets 346 stars, the complete opposite of the negative 346 I gave Gargano and whatever. Zoe Stark and Io Shirai got 14,000 stars. Adam Cole is walking, and then we have LA Knight teaching promo class, pretty much. He's in his car. It looks like he's about to cut like a crazy right wing rant, which is what people do. They sit in their car and they for some reason those folks like to do that in the driver's seat of their car, and then that's the spot to do that. Anyway, he's in his car and cuts a great heel promo saying he'll show up when he wants to, teaches everyone how to do it. He does the let me talk to you, and I thought he was terrific. LA Knight, as much as I love Eli Drake, whatever, I'm going to just call him LA Knight now. He's awesome. I enjoyed that. So it made me want to see his debut, but it made me also enjoy him doing it when he says he's going to do it. It did not sound like NXT promo class, lol. It sounded like he was teaching a goddamn class and everyone should have stopped and rewound. Adam Cole is in the ring. He does a sincere, heartfelt apology, so he doesn't mean that. Roderick Strong yells at him. God, Roderick's another one like Kyle. They have these voices, and they sound like 20-year-old kids arguing with their college professor about life and capitalism, man. They have these voices. But anyway, greatest damn wrestlers in the world. I mean, don't get me wrong. And Roddy's very angry at Cole. Finn Balor shows up and goes after Cole, but then Roddy gets into it with Finn because Finn had shoved Roddy aside. And then they kind of shove Finn to the side. I think he got a kick or something because Cole and Roddy were occupying each other. It was all convoluted way to sneak Finn Balor on the show. But Roddy and Cole have this moment. They say they love each other and their faces are very close. And I was hoping we'd get progressive here, but we really didn't. And Roddy Cole did everything he could to sell that he wasn't about to turn on Roddy. And they have this long, but it was done well. And this teary thing where Cole eventually he breaks down and says he's sorry about what he's done, and Roddy's not really free. He's helping him up and just wants to just hopefully begin to rebuild. He doesn't forgive him right away, but he's just he's torn. There's a lot of emotions here. And then Cole punches him in the dick, and he did it well. He got him good, and Roderick sells with his face that not only do his testicles and his penis hurt, but also his heart is broken. That's the most clever thing I'm going to say all day. And so Roderick Strong did a great job there, and it puts Roddy into the mix and gives him something to do. One thing that I'm glad they didn't do was have Cole, instead of punching him in the penis and testicles, was pick him up in some kind of waggy fisherman brainbuster thing and drop him on a ring apron, because everyone knows that's already the hardest part of the ring. It's the hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you go over the top rope and you bang your head on the ring apron. And that's when you feel like a big dope. They're the worst bumps you can be taking. Whoa, it's the hardest part of the ring. It's the hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you reach out for a hot tag, then you go ahead and make your own comeback. And that's when you should quit wrestling, and you're better off rolling a thumbtacks. Oh, it's the hardest part of the ring. It's the hardest part of the ring. Now just the claps. It's the hardest part of the ring. It's the hardest part of the ring. Ba da ba da.